You're listening to the Perfect Squares podcast, episode 12. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Christmas ready. But I didn't get ready for Christmas until after Thanksgiving because you're not supposed to. It's the law.
That's actually, I go by that too. I feel like weird putting up like lights in my tree sometime in, October or whatever. So I am not in the room where my tree goes, nor is my tree up because I've been busy. So that just didn't happen.
I have a Martha Stewart tree it's a pre-lit tree, which I think is great.
That is
It didn't
really
used
nice.
to come pre-lit, and it has like little pieces of glitter on it, so I have glitter all over me now.
I used to, do you remember back when we were in 8th grade and you put glitter on one of your school projects and then our teacher got pissed?
Yes, because glitter got everywhere.
Because she put the project in her car or something and then her entire back seat was coated in glitter.
I don't regret anything. Look, I have glitter. There's glitter all on this mistletoe.
Oh, see, fuck that noise, because when you put it away, it's going to get everywhere, when you're hanging it up or, putting it on a table, it's going to get everywhere. That's the worst part about putting up the fake tree, is all the fake pine needles that flake off. And then you just have to vacuum them up. So.
Did you have any Black Friday adventures?
No, I don't go out on Black Friday because I feel like a bad person if I do.
You feel like a bad person?
Yeah, I mean, I had to work Black Friday once and it was awful. So.
Yes, you told us.
Yeah, in the previous episode.
Yes. I have mixed feelings about Black Friday. But I stayed in and I built a fence for Grizzly Bee because he is antagonizing the dog next door. And he was antagonizing the dog behind him, but then one day the dog behind him disappeared and we don't know where that dog went.
It just disappeared.
So I didn't have to build that fence. So then, because I didn't have to build that fence, I introduced my mom to Orphan Black because it was Black Friday. And I thought it was appropriate. She really liked it, so we watched the whole thing in one sitting.
So what is that about?
See, it's really hard to describe it because then I feel like you've spoiled the whole thing. So just know that if you like thrillers and kind of okay, so high and low fantasy?
High-end low fantasy?
High fantasy being it takes place in some other setting,
I heard
Lord of the Rings or I
thought you said high-end,
high-end.
luxury.
No, high fantasy.
High fantasy, yes. High
and
fantasy.
Low fantasy.
Yes.
And low fantasy would be fables.
Right, yeah. Or something that just has fantasy elements.
But it's in a real world setting.
Right.
Like Twilight is low fantasy. It's also lowbrow fantasy.
So The Wolf Among Us.
Yes, it's low fantasy, and it's also noir, which is great. What what are you like? Is there that version? Is there like high and low science fiction?
Well, you have like hard science fiction and soft science fiction.
What's that?
So like soft science fiction would be something that they just kind of like throw around like sciencey sounding terms, but they're not really based in fact. I'm trying to think of like an example what that would be. Um,
Is not like
a good
mostly
number of video games. um, and then um, like hard sci-fi would be like Asimov, for instance, where it's very like grounded in science, and it's sort of like a not like predictive, like speculative, like it's like a speculative sort of fiction, I guess. So
I want to move on to a related topic. I want to talk about Michael Crichton and how we had a bidding war for a signed autograph of him.
Yeah, it's true.
And you inflated the cost.
Yeah. So I have always been like a really, really diehard Jurassic Park fan. And I remember my dad buying Jurassic Park for me when I was way too young to be reading Jurassic Park. And then the movie came out, and I was all about dinosaurs at that point in my life, and I really, really wanted to be a paleontologist. So Jurassic Park was like my dream, and I really started to like Michael Crichton books. So like I enjoyed Sphere and a couple of his other ones. Great Train Robbery was boring, so I didn't.
It totally was.
I was like, this isn't sci-fi. Like, fuck this noise. But then his one novel came out that was like, it was like State of Fear or something, and it was like all about like global warming denialism.
Right.
And I was like, we're done here. And then he died.
Yeah.
So.
I got into Michael Crichton because he wrote a historical science quantum physics book with time travel where he used like quantum physics and like quantum holes. And
wait, what is a quantum hole?
It was in the book. By like going into the quantum foam, and there was this like schizophrenic, like going crazy scientist that always would be like, quantum foam makes me roam. And I guess if you went into like the holes of the quantum foam, then that's how like time travel was possible, because it was like it was overlapped, and there were these little holes, and you just like fall through them, and then that's like time is.
I need to like reread that, because I guess now that I'm
actual physics and quantum mechanics,
I can pick it apart. Yeah. I think by quantum foam, I think he means like vacuum fluctuations, but I could be wrong.
And that's when I first learned about Richard Feynman, because he also had the quote where it's like, nobody understands quantum physics. So I think he drew on that and was like, cool, I can go anywhere that I want with this book, because no one understands it. So that means I can say whatever I want, and no one can tell me I'm wrong. So I loved that book because it was a time travel book. They made a movie, and the movie was
awful.
Yeah,
it wasn't very good.
I was disappointed.
Yeah.
And so Lizzie and I both went to a school auction in middle school.
It was like for the drama club.
What? Yeah, it was for the drama club. And for some reason, they had like an old sketchy picture of
Michael
Crichton in a signed autograph, and it was probably worth like $20.
Not even. I mean, adjusted for inflation.
And we both wanted it. And I don't think you're supposed to know who's betting, but we knew the only people betting were both of us. And we bet each other, and we bet up the price to like $150. $40 or something.
It got really out. It escalated quickly.
And then finally, Lizzy's mom stopped her, and she was like, "No."
She was like, "You don't have that much money." What? And then, like, middle school, you don't understand how auctions work.
I know. I know.
Like,
I think one other person had actually bet on it as well, but stopped after like we bet the price up to $140 for this stupid picture. So my mom.
that says so much about our relationship.
I know we're antagonizing each other so much. So my mom made me buy the picture, and that was my Christmas present.
Merry Christmas.
Several times Lizzy has asked for the picture back in my lifetime that I have known her. She said, "That's my picture. You don't deserve it. You don't like him as much as I do. I want it back."
I don't think I've ever said that since, like, freshman year of high school.
I think you said it, like, probably in, like, junior year. Maybe. Maybe even once when you were drunk.
I am now. Next time I go over to your mom's house to visit you, I will sneak into your bedroom and the Michael Crichton picture will go missing.
Yeah, once I was like, "Mom, maybe we should, like, give this away." And she's like, "No, we're never giving that away because I had to spend so much money. You can just live with that and know how much it cost."
Now you have some, like, heirloom Michael Crichton picture.
I could, like, go to any, like, not even an antique store, but any one of those, like, weird shops where, like, just one of those weird shops where they have stalls that you rent your own stall and you sell, like, whatever tchotchkes you have.
What? What is that? I've never heard of this.
It's like an antique mall. And
I've never been in an antique mall. Is that, like, what an antique mall is?
yeah, and there's
So
different...
it's like a con, but, like, all the time?
Yeah, exactly. And there's different stalls, and each stall has a... like, it belongs to a person that rents out the stall, and they put whatever crap they want in there, and that's why there's no cohesive vision for the whole thing. So, like, someone might have, like, weird-ass Cupid dolls in there, and then someone else might have, like, Elvis Presley, like, collective plates from 1993 that aren't antiques at all, and then someone else might have, like, Woody the Woodpecker cookie jars, and you're just like, "Oh, this is a nightmare." But then everyone's
very oddly specific. I feel like you're
cool
speaking from experience.
Yes, I am. I would go in there all the time. So that is where you would find another Michael Crichton signed print, and it'd be like $10.
Pretty much.
And then one time Lizzy said that I had to buy her another print.
I just remember that... yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I got nothing.
But that's the spirit of Christmas.
Right.
And whatever holiday you celebrate.
Outbidding your friend on some way overpriced piece of memorabilia that nobody's going to give a shit about ever again.
Do they give Jewish people Hanukkah off?
Hanukkah off? Oh,
yeah,
like the time
like
off.
From work.
I thought you were saying, like, it's a Hanukkah off. Dreidels, 50%.
It's a Hanukkah off? Like, that's some kind of game. Hanukkah off!
I don't think so. I mean, it's not like, I don't think that, like, I mean, well, you know, Hanukkah goes over several nights, so I don't think that they could, like, shut down for the week.
But, like, some companies shut down for the week of Christmas.
The entire week?
Yes.
Really?
Is your school going to shut down for Christmas?
Yeah, but, like, I'm trying to remember what the term is up. I think it's, like, over at, like, on the 20th. But
See, so your school is not going to be shut down for Hanukkah.
no, it's not going to be shut down for Hanukkah.
I just think it's so unfair for people who are Jewish.
I don't understand why. I mean, yes, people should have time off. I don't know. Like, it should be like Europe where people can just, like, take time off, right?
I don't understand Kwanzaa.
I got nothing. I don't understand Festivus because I never watched.
Festivus? You don't understand Festivus? That's the best one, and it makes
I never watched Seinfeld.
It's a Festivus for the rest of us.
I know. I never.
Do you want to see my Festivus poll?
Do you have it here?
Yes.
Okay, go get it.
Okay. Hang on.
Flashing everybody your PJ shorts again. Oh, they're pants. They're PJ pants. Oh, WikiFeed.
Yeah, they're PJ pants. Hang on.
So, last time I stopped talking when Jessica left, which probably makes it really awkward for the people listening to this and not watching. So, I'm going to try to fill up the time with the soothing sounds of my voice. Right. Okay, here's a question. What shitty things have you done to a friend in middle school? Leave it in the comments.
Hang on, I'm having a hard time remembering where I put my Festivus poll.
Okay, so speaking of Festivus, I think it was last year, our friend Holly had a, like, I don't know if it was like a holiday party. I don't honestly remember, but somebody brought a Festivus pole, and it was the first time I had seen one in the wild. And I just remember it quickly turned into people using it as a stripper pole. Like, obviously not swinging off of it because that would be dangerous, but the Festivus pole was sufficiently large that it went from the floor to the ceiling, so it looked exactly like a stripper pole. That's that. Jessica, what are you doing? Well, let's see. What else? So people in the past, when Jessica was sick or away, suggested that I do a solo show, which I guess would just be me talking. I think this proves right now how unentertaining that is. Hey, just in time. Jessica has produced the Festivus poll.
Here's the Festivus poll. Lizzy?
Yes?
This is the Festivus poll.
I've seen a Festivus poll before.
Well, you wanted me to show you my Festivus poll.
Well, now I've seen it. Thank you. It looks just like every other one.
Yes, it's a sturdy aluminum pole.
Is it always aluminum? Is that the rule?
Yes, it's an aluminum pole. It's a sturdy aluminum pole.
So it's like an aluminum Christmas tree? Isn't that a thing? Aluminum Christmas trees?
Like, yeah, they're like yeah, like chintzy aluminum Christmas trees.
With the color wheel or whatever?
The color wheel?
Yeah. My mom totally had one of those back in the day.
I got really tired from getting my Festivus tree. Anyway, so for those of you who don't know, Festivus is the tradition of
Yes?
Festivus is the tradition that happens on the 23rd, where you get together with the people you love and you air your grievances and tell them what they did that year that disappointed you or annoyed you, or what you would like them to stop doing. And then Festivus isn't over until there is a until there's a feat of strength where someone has I don't know if it's the head of household gets like tackled and wrestled to the ground. I think it's the head of household gets wrestled to the ground.
We didn't do that
And
at Holly's party last year.
I think someone wrestled Ross to the ground, yes. And then there's something called the Festivus Miracle, and that's when like coincidences happen, and that's called the Festivus Miracle.
But coincidences happen all the time. That's why they're coincidences. And
But on
not
Festivus, it's the Festivus Miracle.
I see. So if a coincidence happens on Festivus, it is
A Festivus Miracle.
by definition.
Mm-hmm. And
What if there are multiple coincidences? Are they all miracles?
we should celebrate the Winter Solstice this year.
On the 21st?
Is that when it happens?
That is yet another holiday that's sandwiching my birthday? That sounds awesome.
I'm sorry that your birthday is so inconvenient.
So,
Like, you have a lot of people to be angry with, not just Jesus Christ. You have
Seinfeld
you
now,
have
apparently.
Jesus Christ, you have Seinfeld, you have all of the pagans. Sometimes you have the Jews. Whoever invented Kwanzaa. And how mad are you about New Year's?
I don't really give a shit about New Year's, and that's sufficiently far. I feel like things that happen after my birthday don't. I mean, that doesn't matter.
So then you're not mad about Christmas or Festivus.
No, I'm mad about that because the distance in between, like, Christmas and Festivus is shorter than the distance between, like, say, Christmas and New Year's.
Your birthday is on December 22nd.
That's right.
All right, everyone. I just want to let everyone who is listening at home or watching this video, or especially people who are in our live stream, which keeps going away after the stream is done.
I don't think it's comments. I think it's just like a free-for-all with people shouting.
It's a chat room.
It's a chat. Yeah, exactly. ASL, everybody. ASL.
It's just, it's just like 4chan.
Well, 4chan's not a chat room, is it?
It's like we 4chan. I don't know. It's a message board. It's a message board. Anyway, but this is anonymous, and it like goes away over time in that same way. So Lizzy's birthday is on the 22nd of December, and she is convinced that no one is going to do anything, and she's going to be forgotten about.
I'm just looking at the track record of how things go, because this has plagued me since I was a child. So it's not really the gifts, because I don't really care. I mean, it used to bother me as a kid, but
I'm so sorry that I got you that adding machine that I thought was really cool. It
was cool. I still have it. It's in my car.
Why is it in your car? It's like you got in an accident. That could kill someone.
It's in the trunk. And
it's certainly not doing any good adding in the trunk.
That was a perfectly fine gift, but it made it impossible for my parents to try to throw me a birthday party, because anytime invitations were sent out, it's like, oh, we're going to be out of town. So literally nobody would come to my party. And that still happens. So that's my axe to grind.
Okay, well.
Or if there is a party, it's always like holiday party, and then, in like small print at the bottom, and Lizzy's birthday.
People in the comments right now in our 4chan live chat, we're going to plan Lizzy's birthday. Lizzy's birthday is on the 22nd. What does that fall on this year?
It's a good question.
Lizzy's birthday falls
I don't even know. Monday. It's a Monday.
That's Monday. Okay.
Just like, I was born on a Monday, so.
Should we have it on the weekend before? On the 20th or the 21st?
We could.
We should have your birthday on the 21st, and then it can be Winter Solstice themed.
See, here we go. This is exactly what happens. It's really then a Winter Solstice party that happens to be affiliated with Lizzy's birthday.
Well, why wouldn't you want a themed birthday party? Fine.
I don't want it to be themed around, like, the things that happen on the same day. That's, like, I don't know. Like, it's, like, I'm sure, well, maybe not the 4th of July because people don't get gifts on the 4th of July and, like, don't really, you know, but I don't know. Easter, right? If your birthday was on Easter, would you want an Easter-themed birthday party?
Well, Winter Solstice isn't like Easter.
Well, okay, fine. Like the equinox. Would you want an equinox-themed birthday?
I don't know. That sounds kind of cool. What could we do? Let's talk about what an equinox-themed birthday party would entail.
I think we would just set up sundials.
Okay, everyone would get a free sundial that they got to take home. You would learn how, like, learn about some measurements. Could we do anything with ships?
The sky is the limit.
This equinox-themed birthday party sounds great. When's the next equinox?
Okay, we will, I don't know.
Look it up.
Okay, equinox 2015. Right, it's like giving me results for the 2015 Chevy Equinox.
All right, Caveman 13.
Okay, spring equinox. There we go. March 20th.
All right, well, that's too late. Caveman 313 suggests a 50s sci-fi party.
I am down with that.
Okay. One suggestion. All right, anyone? Tony suggests a burrito dinner.
I do like burritos.
All right. Kristen S. wants to know who is going to bring the Fudgy the Whale.
Not me.
Do you want to Fudgy the Whale?
I kind of do.
Okay.
Can you make it happen?
Someone make a note that Lizzy wants a Fudgy the Whale. We've lost 4 viewers, I think, because we started talking about the chat room being 4chan. I'm sorry. Oh well, guys. Okay, more suggestions. Since apparently my equinox wasn't a great day.
It fell flat.
I think a Winter Solstice birthday would be great. It could be Norwegian themed.
Then it's what with like the like what is it, Saint Lucia, like wreaths or whatever.
What Saint Lucia is December 12th.
Right, but like I don't know.
Oh, you have any Saints days? Are there any Saints days on your birthday?
Well, let me Google that for you.
We could have a themed birthday around a Saints day.
Of course.
Gotham City Angels.
Worse. You're finding more and more ways to conflate my birthday with something that is not my birthday.
Gotham City Angels suggests a bear birthday party.
That sounds.
Everyone could dress as their favorite kind of bear.
Are we talking bears the animal, or are we getting into that? I was gonna say sticky situation.
Leather daddy bear?
Last time, but I was like, I shouldn't say sticky situation. But there, I went and said it anyway. So.
Another person says a Viking themed party. That could go with our Winter Solstice.
The Vikings are cool. You can make it like, I don't know, Skyrim themed, but I can't really talk about Skyrim anymore or look at it. So. Who are you? What are you? Are you texting somebody?
No, I typed in Winter Solstice party suggestions.
Oh, God.
Okay.
It's not happening. It's not going to happen.
Okay. All right. Gaia.com suggests for how to have a solstice celebration. Okay, we have to light candles. We should serve rustic simple food, like root vegetable, a hearty bean stew, and squash or sweet potato ravioli. Do you like any of those things, Lizzy?
This is all vegan food. So now it's turning into Holly's holiday party, but again, in like small type at the bottom, footnote, and Lizzy's birthday.
Lizzy,
It's raw food and vegan food and like weird, Celtic pagan shit. Like this just sounds like another typical holiday party.
Okay, well, I think this holiday party sounds cool. Fine. What if we had a second holiday party where it was a Winter Solstice holiday party, and then we had another party where it was Lizzy's Rocket Robot Bear themed by Chris and S.
I like it.
And
here's the other thing.
Winner.
Here's the other thing. In instances where I have tried to plan my own party, people go to two parties.
What?
So, like, if my birthday is, like, this is what happened 2013. So there was a, like, apocalypse party, and then my birthday was the day after, and nobody's going to go to, like, a rager and then, go to my, like, party after. Like, people are just hungover and tired of looking at the same.
I was out of the country during that time, and the apocalypse party was not a party I hosted.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I had no control over that.
No, I know. I'm just saying people don't want to go to multiple parties. That's the problem. This is my lot in life. There are worse things. Do you ever, like, does your birthday ever get turned into, like, a Halloween? Like, did it ever happen when you were a kid?
Yes. Well, first of all, I wasn't ever allowed to have birthday parties when I was a child. I sometimes was able to have one friend over. But that's it.
But it was, so wait, was it, well, okay, like when you were older, was it Halloween themed?
How old? The only birthday party I ever had before I went to college was a surprise party that wasn't surprise because I was thinking about breaking up with my boyfriend, and my mom said, "You can't break up with him. He's throwing a surprise party for you."
That's awkward.
So, I didn't break up with him. We stayed together for 3 more years, and it was a SpongeBob SquarePants party, and you couldn't come because you were at church doing a Star Trek pageant, and you showed up in your costume.
It's true.
And I found out that no one actually likes SpongeBob except for me.
I like SpongeBob.
Well, then it was everyone else. And my boyfriend had been lying to me, and he actually didn't like SpongeBob, and I felt humiliated, and I felt infantilized, and I didn't like that my whole theme was around a thing that I thought that all my friends and I shared an interest in, and he didn't. And also, he invited mostly not my friends. He invited a lot of his friends that we did not have in common.
As you do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what happens when somebody else plans your birthday. They wind up inviting, like, some of your common friends, but then a lot of your not friends.
Most of my birthdays were with my cousins. Most of my birthdays were with my cousins, and every single year I cried, and then I sang, "It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to."
Yeah. Okay, so I looked up the saint for my birthday.
Who's your saint?
It's Archbishop Flavian of Constantinople.
Oh my God, your saint is so sassy. Who's Flavian the patron saint of?
Wait, now Wikipedia is saying that it's February 18th. I don't know.
Oh, damn.
CatholicTradition.org is really letting me down. So, I was baptized Catholic, but I am almost very certainly not Catholic at all.
I think that's disappointing. If you get to be Catholic, you should embrace it, because it's a pretty,
If I get to be Catholic?
Yeah, why not? Just be Catholic.
Because I don't want to be Catholic.
What do you want to be instead?
I don't want to be anything. religious.
Well, you don't have to be religious. You just be Catholic.
So I've often kind of liked the idea of religion as being a life support group and not
Sure.
like a thing. But
Yeah.
then you have to deal with all the people who it's not a life support group for. So
Well, yeah, but if someone dies, then they'll give you casserole.
people do that anyway. It's not like a religious thing.
Uh, there's not that many people in the world who care about you enough to give you a casserole. You have to go to church to find that. People are assholes. But at
Yeah.
least in church, they're assholes and they feel obligated for Jesus.
Obligated.
So,
Jesus wants you to give casseroles. So, yep. That's the way it goes.
um, okay, so the saint for December 22nd is Saint Shamiron,
See, that sounds like a lame ass saint.
Bishop of, and this is from Catholic.org, so I'm pretty sure this is legitimate. I don't know where you got yours from, but yours sounded way too cool to be true. Uh, Bishop of Neapolis in Egypt, when the persecution of was institutionalized by Emperor Tijanus Decius. He was quite elderly. He and several companions fled into the Arabian desert and were never seen again.
So wait, what did he do? He did nothing. See, he's like the lamest saint. What is he like?
He was a
He's like the patron saint of anything?
bishop.
See, this is awful. Oh well, we'll have to shelve that idea.
Well, hang on. It says more saints of the day. Let's see, maybe Saint Demetrius.
Saint Demetrius.
This one sounds boring too. Let's go back to Flavius, because Flavius is also supposedly this day. Flavian.
See, then why did Wikipedia say February something?
It says Saint Flavian, December 22. Prefect of Rome arrested for being a Christian. He was branded on the forehead. I don't know why that's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Like they were just like... he was branded on the forehead and exiled to Aqua Pendente in the Tuscany region. He died there in prayer.
Again, not cool. Not.
But like, what do you want?
I don't know. Like,
What kind of saint do you want?
well, like, I don't know. I want this like Francis of Assisi who like talks to animals and wolves and shit. Not like
There's only one.
not like OK Corral face.
All right. Well, this one's even more like lame. Saint Amaswentus, abbot in Spain. All that was recorded of him was that he was a monk for 45 years. That's literally all it says.
I mean,
Okay.
at least monks brew beer, so like, you know.
Saint Hunger. Let's see what Saint Hunger.
Saint Hunger?
Mm-hmm. Bishop who fled the diocese during the invasion of the Normans. He died in Prum, Germany. Boring.
Okay, so basically all the saints on my birthday are cowards. They're just they're just fleeing constantly.
Oh, this one's great. This one's great. This one's great. Oh shit, this one's perfect for you, Lizzy.
Oh, great.
Zeno died 303, a martyred soldier at Nicomedia, modern Turkey. He was seized and condemned to death for laughing while Emperor Diocletian offered a sacrifice to the Roman god Ceres. Zeno Zeno had his jaws shattered and then was beheaded.
Okay, so that's cool. I can totally.
He can be.
I can get behind that. He was like, I mean, granted, he was religious himself, but he was like making fun of bullshit and then got into a fight. So I can, I can live with that. Thank you.
He just like stood there and was laughing.
He was like he had like church giggles.
Yeah, like they're just like he's a Christian. He's just like blah blah blah. I'm here in this land and this emperor dude, and he's like, look, we're going to do a sacrifice to my god, and he's like, your god's lame and doesn't exist. And he's like, you traitor, you're wrong.
Traitor?
Well, you
infidel? I don't know.
Infidel. Seize him, shatter his jaw, and then behead him.
Yeah, that's
cool.
See, I can get behind that though. Fisticuffs and mockery. I like that.
Zeno. And Zeno is a really cool name. Let's look at a picture of him. Saint Zeno.
I don't think it's going to be accurate.
Well, whatever. Oh, shit. He looks awesome. And you can see where he's buried.
Great. So I'll do a yeah, we should have a sci-fi bears robot
Saint Zeno.
No party. I like this. This is way better than generic holiday party with forced ugly sweaters and Secret Santa. Does anybody like Secret Santa or like White Elephant or whatever?
No. I honestly, I just wish you didn't have to give presents to people at Christmas. I wish everyone was just like, cool.
Happy holidays, and then just roll on.
Because, also, I just wish I could be like, look, guys, don't give me any presents. I don't want any, so I don't have to give you presents. Please, just don't. Don't give me presents.
You should just say that. You should just, okay.
I did. I've done it before.
Everybody out there now,
then I have to go find presents.
So, yeah.
Here's a picture of Zeno. It's Zeno.
He looks like cool. Every other generic saint.
Well, whatever.
On an illuminated manuscript with that generic Catholic halo and putty face.
Putty face. Well, he was a soldier, so you know that's probably not what he looked like.
Yeah.
Probably if you looked up Turkish soldier, that's a little more accurate than him looking holy. Turkish soldier with his jaw broken.
Yeah.
And no head.
Yeah. I'm imagining a sweet metal jaw.
Yeah.
Tycho Brahe knows.
What? He's like Baron Underbite or something?
Exactly. With a halo.
And a Turkish accent.
Yep.
Well, your birthday party is going to be swell. I think we should have, oh my god, we should have themed drinks for all of these,
elements. I like it.
We'll have a feast day drink. We'll have a
bear-themed drink.
A bear drink. That one's got to put hair on your chest. We'll have...
I thought you were going to say we've got to put hair in it.
Ew, why would we do that?
Thanks for it, my worst fear.
We will...
We have to have one that's sci-fi themed. 50 sci-fi themed.
Yeah, a 50 sci-fi themed.
And robots.
And a robot themed.
Yeah, I like it. We got this. It's done. Thank you, everybody. This is great. I mean, all the parties get planned over the podcast, and then we have to do zero work.
I know. I think next week we should have a drunk podcast.
A drunk podcast? I'll be out of town at a non-disclosed location, so yeah, that'll make it even more fun.
Cool.
All
Cool.
right, so we will have the second ever Perfect Squares Boozy podcast.
All right, guys. We have been debating whether this time zone works better or if we should move it back to.
Time zone? You mean time, scheduled time?
Yeah, you understood what I meant. Whether we should stay at this time or we should move it back to 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. So please ponder that and leave us a note in the comments if you think that this time works for you or if we should move it a little bit later back to 8:30. Leaving out towards the end, Lizzy, what is the most traumatic thing you can think of off the top of your head from a Christmas tree memory? A Christmas tree memory.
A Christmas tree memory?
Yeah.
So, putting up the Christmas tree at my house, like my parents' house, was always an ordeal because we had, so if you go in, so my mom and I lived with my grandmother, and my grandmother has these really high cathedral, like, ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
And so she thought so she wanted to put it, in the, like, the family room area, which is, like, in the center. But then there was, like, all this empty space up top. So she's like, she went to this, like outlet store where they buy trees for department stores. Like, that's where, like, department stores go to get their trees. And she bought, like, this, like, 10-foot tree that we would, we would have, it's a fake tree, and we'd have to put it up every year. We'd have to drag it down from the attic and then put it up. And then we would have to meticulously, like, fluff each branch to make it look more real. And that was always my job. And I would have to put on the ornaments, but I never got to put up the cool ones because I was always accused of possibly breaking them. So I had to put on, like, stupid ornaments, like toy blocks and shit that, like, got, like, hung on the bottom. And then the one year and to be fair, I probably should have never been allowed to put up the good ornaments because invariably I would be like, no, I've got it this time, please let me put up the good ornaments. And then, like, some ornament that's been passed down for, generations would get broken. So I was relegated to my Lion King, Ninja Turtles, and toy blocks. I can see Graham in the background. Hi, Graham.
Graham! Everyone, wave to Graham on the podcast.
more photo bombing.
Yeah. So when I was very young, I thought that, trees are alive, but before we had fake trees, I would get very attached to the tree that we had, and I remember my mom would have to throw the tree away outside before I woke up.
See, that's why I won't do real trees. I have thought about doing a potted tree, but I know what you mean.
So my mom would have to throw the tree away outside, and one year she, I guess, like, didn't quite make it, and I, like, woke up and ran downstairs, and I saw the trail of needles, like, towards the front door, and I screamed.
Like a crime scene?
Yes, like, it was like blood. like there had been some kind of fight or something, and I was just seeing the aftermath of all the damage, and I screamed and I ran outside, and I saw the tree just on the corner of the street, like a dead hooker or something. And I just remember screaming and falling to my knees, and I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. And I didn't understand what was happening or where the tree was going. Because at first, I don't know, I guess I thought that that the tree just lived with us and that it got planted somewhere. I don't know. And I also, when we picked out our tree, I had to stop going because I would see the saddest tree and know that no one was going to want that tree, and I would get very upset.
Charlie Brown style?
Yeah, and I would want to get that tree. And then I couldn't watch them cut down the tree because I knew what was happening. So my mom would take me away so that I would not associate the chopping down the tree with the tree dying. So eventually, like as soon as possible, we got a fake tree. Plus, my mom was afraid of the tree catching on fire like all the time anyway, so.
Yeah, which really does happen. And I don't understand how in 2014, like, people are still putting, like, real candles on dried out trees.
People put real candles on their trees?
Yeah, that's like a thing. Like, people will put lit candles on their tree.
That's like a Victorian shit.
It is, and at least in like Victorian England, they knew how to maintain the tree so it wouldn't just, combust, burning up all the presents, your family, and the house.
That's so sad.
Happy holidays.
Well, on that, I think it's time for us to go.
I thought we were gonna like turn into the Sound of Music now. Just be like, so long.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Don't burn your house down with a lit candle. Do 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 do. If you like this podcast and would like to see more, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Jessica Marzipan. It's somewhere in a link. And go ahead and like this. I don't really know what the like button does, except
makes us feel good.
Makes us feel good and makes other people be like, oh, trolls haven't gotten there yet. You can also find our podcast on our RSS feed and on iTunes if you would like to listen to this while you're driving or working or just, whatever.
Maybe at a holiday party.
Or at a holiday party. We'll see you next time. Same place, same time, unless we decide to change it. All right. Bye.